Hey everybody, welcome to MM207 Statistics with Dr. Amy Gates. This how-to video is going to show you how to navigate through our classroom, how to find everything from learning resources, Statcrunch, your ebook, solutions manuals, PowerPoint guides, how to find templates for the discussion areas and for the projects, how to find the My Stats Lab or MSL homework and quizzes, what you can expect to find in doc sharing, how to find the Unit 4 midterm project, and how to find all the data that you need for this course. So let's get started. When you first log into the class, you're going to see the announcements area. It's very, very important to read through all of the announcements carefully. I know there's a lot of them, and it seems like you'll never get to read all of them, but you absolutely can, and it'll only take you about an extra 10 or 15 minutes to do so, and then you'll really know what's going on in the class, everything from the lateness policy to seminar information, when are projects graded, how do you find things, and so on. Very important information here. Take 15 minutes and read through it. Every unit or every time you log in to class, there may be a new announcement. If you see one that you haven't read before, just take a moment to open it up and read through it, and then at all points in the course, you'll always know what's going on. Next, you want to come down under the course home and look for the link called Learning Resources. This is probably one of the most important links for you in this classroom because it's where you can find a lot of very, very helpful resources. Let's click on it and see what's in there. Inside of the Learning Resources area is a copy of your entire textbook. So if we scroll down a little bit, we can see that each chapter of your textbook is listed here and is accessible to you, as well as all the preface material and all of the end of book material, such as the appendices, where to find the z-score tables, and so on. Inside of this Learning Resources area, you will also find a link to Statcrunch. Throughout our course, we're going to be using Statcrunch to do statistical analysis. There's different data files that we're going to be working on, both from the textbook and also for our projects in Unit 4 and in Unit 9. The next thing you'll find in this area are some extra Statcrunch video tutorials, a student solution manual with solutions to all kinds of problems, and even more wonderful, an entire set of PowerPoint guides for every single section of your textbook. These PowerPoint guides explain the information in your textbook a little bit more clearly, and they break down some of the concepts, so very, very useful. Now let's scroll back up to Statcrunch for a minute. We said that we're going to be using Statcrunch to analyze data in our classroom. We're going to use it for the discussion area questions, and we're also going to use it for the projects. We have two projects. We have a midterm project in Unit 4, and we have a final project in Unit 9. So where do we find these data files, and how do we get them into Statcrunch? Well, the good news is they're already in Statcrunch for you. All you have to do is click on Statcrunch in this area under Learning Resources, and all of the textbook data files that we're going to use for the discussion area will be waiting there for you. So let's see what that looks like. I'll click on Statcrunch. Let's move that down just a little bit here. Here's all the data sets from your textbook, all along the left-hand side. Any one of these data sets that you want to load into the Statcrunch area, you simply click on it. So let's say I wanted to load in male health exam results. I would click on that data set, and it would automatically load into the Statcrunch area. Now at this point, I can perform statistical analysis on this data if that's what I need to do for one of the discussion questions, for example. There's going to be another how-to video that talks about how to perform statistical analysis. Keep a lookout for all the how-to videos that I make. I always post them in the announcements area. But for now, let's go back to focusing on everything that you need to find in your classroom. So what did we look at so far? So far we looked at learning resources and discovered that we have a lot of important stuff in here. We've got your ebook, Statcrunch. We know if we click on Statcrunch, it's going to bring us down to this area here. We know if we enter Statcrunch, we're going to be able to access all the data files from our textbook. and we're going to use that for all the discussion questions in our course. We also have extra tutorials, solutions manuals, and PowerPoint guides. All right, so what else do we have in our classroom? If we scroll down a little bit more along the left, inside of Unit 1, there's an introductions area. Definitely click on there and make sure that you're posting your introduction. And then for each unit, we have a discussion area. Let's click on that and see what's inside. Inside the discussion area, you're going to have a main discussion assignment that you'll have to answer by Sunday of each unit. In this particular case, there are several questions, but if you notice, and it's kind of sneaky, it says choose any two of the following questions. So it's really important to read through the entire discussion question, and then even more importantly, scroll down and find the template that I've posted for you in the discussion area. For every unit of our course, in every discussion area, I'm going to build you a template that you can use to make your main discussion post. The template breaks down the assignment into clearer parts. It reminds you of things like choosing only two of the questions, just in case you missed that, and it makes it a little bit easier to answer all parts of the questions without accidentally forgetting something. Students love the templates. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback for them, and they tend to help people get higher grades. Remember, your main discussion post that you're going to use the template for is due on Sunday. Then, by Tuesday, you want to make at least 2 other student response posts. To get full credit for the discussion area, you want to post on at least 3 different days. So for example, you might make your first student response post on a Saturday, and then you might make your own main post on a Sunday, and then you might make another student response post on Monday or Tuesday. Also, in the discussion area, keep a lookout for any other posts I might have made. For example, this one's a PowerPoint tutorial with screenshots of lots of different things you need to know how to do. So anytime you come into the discussion area, find the template and use that for your main post, and take a look at any other posts I might have made that will help you with the concepts for that unit. All right, well, what's next in Unit 1 and in our other units as well? In each of our units, we're going to have a My Stats Lab homework assignment and a My Stats Lab quiz. To access these, you simply click on the link, and once you click on that, it brings up a link that allows you to enter the My Stats Lab or MSL area. So if I wanted to get into the Unit 1 homework, I would click on this link. The good news is that you can do the MSL homework assignment an unlimited number of times until the final due date of the week. I will take your highest grade. Now you'll notice that our due dates are actually always Tuesday at midnight, but I've extended all the My Stats Lab assignments by 24 hours to give you a little bit of extra time in case there's an emergency. And we'll talk about this more in the seminar, so make sure to attend the seminar live so you can ask questions if you have any. If you want to access your quiz, you do the same thing. You click on the My Stats Lab quiz, and you can take your quiz. Quizzes can be taken up to 5 times, and again are due at the end of the week plus the 24-hour grace period. Out of the 5 times you can take the quiz, I take your best score. This is actually true for most of the units. So if we take a peek into Unit 2, you can see we also have a discussion area, we have an MSL homework, we have an MSL quiz. Now when we get to Unit 4, it's a little bit different. We have a discussion assignment, we have an MSL homework, but instead of a quiz, we have an instructor-graded project. In order to find the data set for this project, you actually have to click the project itself. So if I click this project, it says, okay, click on Statcrunch to get in and complete your graded project. In other words, the data that you need is inside of Statcrunch. So if I click Statcrunch, again, it's going to open up Statcrunch and it's going to allow me to use the data for my Unit 4 project. Let's see if it'll open it for me. Looks like it's opening it in another window. There it is. So here's my Unit 4 data, and if I click that, it loads it into Statcrunch for me, and this is the data set that I'll be using for the Unit 4 project. Finally, doc sharing. Where do you actually find the project assignment itself? In doc sharing. If I click on doc sharing, I can find my project descriptions in the category called Instructor Graded Projects. If I click on Instructor Graded Projects, I see here the Unit 4 midterm project assignment and template. Just like with the discussions, I'm going to create a template for both of your projects. The template will break down the assignments for you and make it a lot easier for you to go through and answer each of the important questions. So here's your Unit 4 project assignment. And to get to the data, you want to click on the Instructor Graded Project link under Unit 4. I advise people to start the projects as soon as possible. Your Unit 9 project will also appear in this area. Finally, inside of doc sharing, and if we click on the top category, you'll find all the other important documents for our class. Our syllabus is in here, all of our seminar PowerPoint guides will be in here, and so on. So welcome to MM207, and I'll see you in the seminar.